Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Adelina and I make videos about living in this tiny house on wheels and living a more intentional life. I have been wanting to try to make my own breakfast sausage patties, and Sam from It Doesn't Taste Like Chicken has a recipe on her channel for homemade sausage patties, breakfast sausage patties. Now, so I've taken her recipe and that is the one I'm using today. I'm going to link it down below. This is not my recipe, but I have adjusted the seasonings because her recipe and most of them call for fennel seed, and I really do not like that taste. So I'm going to substitute some other spices in there, and I'm making one other change to her recipe. I think this is going to be really good. I'm excited to try it. So let me show you my ingredients. So we need some broth. She uses veggie broth. I have this accidentally vegan beef broth. So 1 cup of that, that's been dissolved in warm water. Some textured vegetable protein. That's the base of our breakfast sausages. This is what's going to give us our meaty flavor. We're going to rehydrate it in the veggie broth. Some flax seed. She says flax seed or ground chia seed. I have ground flax seed. I keep this in my freezer, and that's what's going to give us our stickiness. And then the flavor components, we have soya sauce. I've got the low sodium here. Oops, make a mess. Some Canadian Gold, a little bit of maple syrup, some quick cooking oats, some regular white flour, and then this is the change that I've made because she mentions in her comments that the patties are a little bit delicate. So what I've decided to do, and I don't know if this will work or not, but add 1 tablespoon of the vital wheat gluten. That should really make things stick together more. We'll see. And then spices. I have smoked paprika, and then where she uses the fennel seed, I'm changing it up a bit. I'm using some ground sage, some thyme, and then we've got pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder, and then some light tasting oil. I'm just going to use this canola oil. So that's what we have to work with. So let's get started really quickly because we have to get that TVP hydrating. Into a large mixing bowl, add your 1 cup of the TVP granules, your 1 cup of veggie broth or vegan beef broth, whatever you decide you're going to use. Add that in there. Then we're going to add the ground flax or ground chia seeds. We've got 2 tablespoons of this. We're going to add that in there. And now we need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I do think that low sodium is the way to go. And then 1 tablespoon of the maple syrup. And then let's mix this around. And then we're going to let it sit until it fully hydrates the TVP and gets kind of thick from the ground flaxseed or ground chia seed. We're just going to set that aside, and I will be back once this is thickened. About 5 minutes is what she says. Okay, so the TVP has absorbed the moisture. We're going to add in the 1/2 cup of oats, the 1/4 cup of white flour, that 1 tablespoon of vital wheat gluten that I've added in additional, and then our spices. Again, we have the paprika, the sage, the thyme, pepper, garlic, and onion powders. And then 2 tablespoons of oil on top of all of that. So I'm going to start with just mixing this with my wooden spoon. But that vital wheat gluten will seize up. That's not the right word, but it will add a lot of structure. So I think that it's useful. I guess I'll find out. You could make this gluten-free with that's easy to say, gluten-free flour, but I think they would be more delicate. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to add that vital wheat gluten in there. Just going to give this a taste. Very good, very tasty. Yum, yum. And it doesn't need salt because the bouillon had salt. But at this point, you could obviously add salt if you wanted, because I think traditionally that breakfast patties are salty. What she does is she scoops them into her frying pan, because next we're going to pan fry these. And then you can freeze them after and just pull them out as you need them. She uses a cookie scoop for that, so that's what I'm going to do. I can see why she does it, because they are pretty soft. And then just flattens them out. I'm not sure how we'll flatten them out. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just take a spoon, the back of a spoon with a little bit of oil coating it to flatten out the patties, because I think they're going to be very sticky. So let's go to the frying pan and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to put this on low. May have to move to another burner because my stovetop is quite hot. So I guess we'll get started. Now we put a little bit of oil in your pan. I think it requires it. Keep in mind that breakfast sausages are greasy, but I do think these are a heck of a lot healthier than traditional. All right, my oil has warmed up. Let's see what happens when we make these. That might have been a little bit of a big one. I have to say they smell really good. I'll flatten these out in a sec. And one little bitty one. Okay, so yeah, they do taste really good. So I'm flattening these out. I think if you don't flatten them out, they may not cook fully inside, and we want these to be nice and cooked. Maybe develop a bit of a crust. I may have crowded my plate a bit, so I'm just going to pull that one out. My pan a bit, I mean. So, just going to let these fry and see what happens. I'm really curious to know how these are going to work out. I guess we'll find out. So, I'll come back when it's time to flip them. Okay, we're going to try flipping these. Very, very carefully. Okay, so what I'm going to do is move them over to my smaller burner because I think they're cooking a little too fast. They're browning a little too fast. So I'm just going to put these over here and let them finish cooking, because remember, we've got the oats in there and we want the oats to get soft. Though the oats will give us some texture, which is what we want in our breakfast sausages. So see back here, another 4-5 minutes, because we want these to cook nice and slow. Okay, I think these are cooked. I took the little bits that were left and made myself some tasters right here in the center. I think also that what these will do is they will come together more as they cool and then get reheated. So let's get these out of here. Okay, let's try these. So, got them all here. They've cooled off a bit. These are my little taster pieces. Let's see. Those are really good. I have been buying the Gardein maple breakfast sausages. These are just as good. Honest, these are just as good. Now, the fennel seed would make these taste more authentically sausage, but I think the sage and the thyme does enough. They're so good. Oh my gosh. Guys, give these a try. If you buy frozen pre-made vegan breakfast sausage patties, this was super easy. You saw how fast that was. And I mean, there are a lot of ingredients in the, spices and things like that, but I think it's worth it. I got 7 large ones. I think I could have probably got 8 smaller size. I've got rising right now the dough for English muffins because I want to make some breakfast sandwiches. Again, this recipe is from Sam from It Doesn't Taste Like Chicken on her website, which I will link down below. Let me know if you try these. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Remember, in a world where you can be anything, be kind, be brave. I love you, and I'll see you next Sunday. Sophie, come here. Hi. You don't like this sausage, do you? No, not at all. Oh, well, if you're going in there, we'll leave you to your privacy.